But now it's time to go to the western... I think it might be quicker to go to the west end. Well, actually no, probably the western docks would be the safer bet here. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight. Because granted, we pieced together that Harriet Jones was the cause of the outbreak a lot quicker than the character seemed to. I mean, like, I managed to piece that together even without even without the Doris Fletcher stuff. Oh, thank you very much! Served as your own distraction there. Oh!
Don't like that, do ya?
Oh, come on! Oh, completely different moveset on this saber, though. Well, lucky for you guys that you have a sturdy gate between you and the rest of the area. Oh, actually, I'm heading to, yeah, I'm not going to head to the sewers themselves. I'm going to try going through the Sad Saint's place. Should be right up here. Oh, crap. Took a wrong turn. Right up through here. Holy. Oh, yeah, this is still the right area. Oh, hey, didn't even notice I had a hideout there I could have done. Oh. Okay, apparently I have found this hideout. Actually, how many bullets do I have yet? Doesn't actually say. Oh, I might be able to buy some from the one merchant here. Or Nightingale, I think? I almost went headlong into another vampire. Yeah, Martin Nightingale, that's it.
Good evening.
There's no need...
Show me what you have.
Let's see, any bullets? Rather weird thing for him to have. Alright. So yeah, I'll be talking to Hampton first, I think, if I can find him real quick. There he is.
Sean knows something about him.
Yes, Doctor? Have you seen Harriet Jones?
No. She...
Farewell.
Okay. Handwritten prayer. Dear Lord, this is my prayer for my beloved mother, Gertrude Paxton, who now awaits her daughters in heaven. Until that day, I thank you for allowing me to wake up and go through each new day in honest poverty and modesty. Please protect the good, Mr. Hampton. Please protect the good Mr. Hampton who let us sleep in his night shelter. I humbly ask you to forgive me for the resentment I feel toward my sister, Giselle, since Mother died. Oh.
You again?
Giselle, I know you sleep at Hampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course. But he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad. Like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God. To give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
That took finding a note to figure out?
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
Oh. Talk with her.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between your two versions.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
Well, at least it didn't
Well,
say, you know, hint failed. So, yay for progress.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
Okay, this angle is actually kind of interesting for the conversation.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her. Plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill. But I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Goodbye.
And now, down to the Skull Den. Provided I can get in this way, because I wouldn't be too shocked if they decided to bar this entrance. From a gameplay perspective, and it could be justified. Oh, they did not! I genuinely figured that they would have done so from a narrative perspective, too. Not sure why that's still gleaming.
This place has been ransacked.
Oh boy.
They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style.
Where's the slaughter? I'm genuinely not seeing any bodies here. Oh, shit. Now I am. Old Bridget, you here?
Where has Harriet gone? She must have left a trail I could follow.
That would also explain why you're not able to kill Harriet Jones. And actually, why she was under lock and key earlier. I'd never even considered that. Swansea locked her in. Because he was conducting the experiment on her. Yep, okay, so the section of the sewers I thought was going to be important is important, thankfully.
Where is old Bridget? Damn. If I'd come earlier, they would still be alive.
I do have to wonder if you can sequence break like that. You know, not tell Lady Ashbury about it and just immediately head down there and confront Harriet Jones. Of course, you don't have the cure at that point, so harder to tell.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
Oh!
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies.
Okay, so...
I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
Yeah, with this... Yeah, he probably wouldn't have allowed you in simply because you don't have the antidote. So that was a nice way to kind of gate it off.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
Blood? You are made of blood. Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
Wait.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Myrddin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
So, was he the first vampire then? I mean, granted, it'd explain why Jonathan is as powerful as
Why
he is.
did you choose me?
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical threat.
Speak to me of this ancient threat.
The blood of hate, vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger and anger.
What kind of modern answer?
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you. Only you can save this land.
I'm here to stop Harriet Jones. She is the original carrier. The well from which this corruption flows.
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in, and driven by the blood of hate.
What the hell is the blood of hate?
What is the blood of hate?
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the hunger in you, the need for blood, the will to strike and to punish, to spit in the eye of God.
Tell me about this disaster, creature. I know London fell victim to such a thing in 1666.
A disaster is pure anger born through blood. Its name means bad star, for they reappear when our queen unleashes her unquenchable wrath upon the world.
Okay, who the hell is the Red Goddess then? Oh,
And who is this queen?
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
Thank you for clearing that
She has
up.
been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even mine. But know this. She is a vengeful mother.
So I've gathered.
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster
Okay,
is
so it's
at the
not-
same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own words.
A disaster is the pure will of our queen. Whenever she dreams of walking this earth, she awakes in this putrid vessel.
Okay, so if you serve the Queen, why stop the disaster? I mean, like, what's your motivation in this? Because it seems as though the Queen wants to destroy the world.
I only wish to know how to put an end to this epidemic.
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. McCullum used such a serum when trying to kill me. However, I have produced a more efficacious version of the antidote.
Your final task awaits you at the end of these tunnels. I've known for ages you were worthy of this challenge, my champion, Bittersweet.
What will happen thereafter? What future awaits me beyond these dark tunnels?
Your fate, my child, and the fate of this land. A disaster is about to enter this world to smite us all and teach us humility. You are our final hope.
Will it be over then? Once I've defeated this creature?
This is getting a little meta.
Yes. The threat will dissipate like so much smoke, for you will have purified its source.
And then what? What will become of me?
How would I know? I am no god, and your fate is in your own hands. For you are our champion.
You tricked me. My sister died for your schemes. I have brought suffering and tragedy into this world. I am not, nor will I ever be your champion.
Very soon you'll come to know that sacrifice is sometimes necessary. I understand the grudge a child bears towards his father and mother. Be brave, my child.
Let's see what's down this way first. Oh. Trying to figure out where I... Yep, I was right. Leads right to an arena. I'm genuinely kind of happy about...
These poor skulls didn't stand a chance.
Well, not so much happy. And oh, I do wonder what happened with old Bridget. Like, will I meet her on the way out or something?
Oh, I'm sick. So sick. Doctor, help me, please. I'm in such pain.
I'll be glad to be of assistance.
Ah, like your help, Doris. Liars, all of you.
How did she know what happened to Doris? Oh,
My poor baby. I've been such a bad mother. But the Queen herself forgave me.
oh.
Gave me another chance.
Harriet, you must stop all of this. I can't let you infect anyone else.
How dare you interfere with the Red Queen's plans, Doctor? How can you stop the course of nature?
So I have to bite her, or...
Poor
Oh boy. Oh. And actually, let's see. Shotgun first. Okay, this cannot be this easy.
I was a good mother.
This cannot be this easy. There we go.
This anger I feel, is it right?
Oh boy. That, Oh, damn it.
How completely, how intensely, how irredeemably are you all going to suffer now?
Wait. Blood serum is G. Okay, so let's see.
Eat, for this is my body.
That it? Yeah, it's blood serum, but I'm not able to... Wait, what the hell's going on? Oof.
Blood, feed me, give me their lives.
Ow. I know that won't actually do anything to her, but it will maybe slow her down. Oof. Definitely an interesting final boss fight here. Okay, for some reason they got swapped. And I'm not sure why.
Eat, for this is my body. I will reap that innocence, abundant the heart, spread the crop.
Oh. Oh, this is not good.
Feed your mother, child.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay. These are mislabeled. Will that actually give her pause? Yes, it did.
Give me more! They are so young, so tasty! Blood.
Got her.
Do you think your champion defeated me, my child?
No one could ever defeat you, mother of us all, for you are our every root and leaf.
You've always been my most amusing son.
Then go back to sleep, my queen, and smile at us from your dreams.
Did they feel my wrath? Have they suffered enough?
More than ever, mother of us all.
Until the next time.
Until the next time.
Okay, seriously, what is his motivation in stopping her? That's my question. Because of...
So it's over then, young Ekon. You have put an end to this terrible menace.
Old Bridget? What are you doing here?
How did you escape?
This is my realm, Ekon. This is Suascal territory.
But they were all massacred by the monstrosity that Harriet became.
Others will come, engendered by deceitful vampires. I don't mean you, of course.
I thought you'd been slaughtered, with all the other Suascals.
I was up above, in search of help when Harriet suddenly turned into
Okay,
that
so it
thing.
wasn't,
I have no idea what it was.
It's over now. London is no longer shrouded in the disaster's shadow. We're all safe.
Yes, you prevailed in the end. I hope you'll forgive me for the way I treated you when first you presented yourself at our gate.
No need to apologize. Really.
Perhaps there will be no stories told or songs sung of what happened here today.
just taking a countdown.
But I'll know the truth. Jonathan Reed, newborn vampire, stepped forward and saved us all.
I'm honored to be part of this city's legend. Thank you, old Bridget. May I ask you just one question?
How could I refuse you anything now? I'll answer just as I answered Lady Ashbury when we met a few nights ago.
Who are you? Really?
I was born with the name Bridget Eleanor Wellington. In 1738, my beloved and immortal husband decided to preserve my beauty and youth forever by making me drink his blood.
You were Lord Redgrave's wife. Then the pompous fool rejected you, did he not?
It was about 200 years ago. Peace found me in time. And I sincerely hope it will find you too, now that all is over.
No, it's not over. I may have ended the vampire epidemic, but I still need answers from the woman I love.
I feared you would say that. Go then, young Ekon, and face your fate. Just remember that I'll always be here for you.
So will I actually be able to track her down in the game, or is that going to be like an epilogue type thing?
London has been cleansed.
Epilogue.
This catastrophe came about when an ancient malignant will crossed paths with mortal imprudence. For now, we are safe. For now. My craving for blood remains. Red like hate, red like hunger, red as life and death, passing from one immortal to another, from predator to victim, patiently biding its time to rise again. London has been cleansed for now, but there's a simmering hatred, fear, and old grudges. When will we succumb, mortals and immortals alike? The next disaster is only a matter of time. My only hope now is to catch the woman I love, to understand why she fled, and unmask the secret that has been lurking in her blood for so long.
I still don't think he's right on that, though. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, she did mention, I think, Edinburgh? Or some castle in Scotland, anyway. Huh. I'm genuinely surprised that they actually showed the car in motion. I kind of figured that they would have it, be kept off screen.
Well, this is it. Lady Ashbur's domain. Why am I not surprised it's not on any maps? I'd better hurry.
Healthy carrier. But here's the thing, how do you know that it was her and not just a confluence of other factors?
Beautiful morn, my child. It looks like dawn is here at long last.
Can't you just leave me alone? Your precious queen has been sent back to the bottomless pit from whence she came. The nightmare is almost over.
I am here to say goodbye. The sun's warmth exhausts me. Soon I will rejoin my queen in her endless sleep. It is over. You did well.
So our beloved mother will just go back to sleep, now that enough people have suffered. Is that it?
No, Jonathan. The Morrigan has been appeased because you dared confront her. You have prevailed, my bittersweet champion.
Okay, so she's a challenge seeker.
What does she seek? Revenge? Retribution?
She seeks nothing, since she only dreams of it. In the ancient tongue, when I was young, her name meant ghostly queen. Pray she never fully awakens, for her wrath knows no bounds.
Okay.
And what are you to her? Her counterpart? Her opponent in some timeless game?
She is my mother, my dreadful and sour-tempered mother. She is yours too, in a way, but you are not born from her terrible womb like me. You are but a distant child.
Why did Harriet Jones become a disaster?
Good.
You are the doctor. You hold the knowledge needed to answer such a question. Have you the answer?
Icors seem to carry various diseases. They did not merely turn people into skulls. Their presence alone spreads death.
Who knows whether the Red Queen awakens when cursed mortals endure such epidemics, or if the contagions emerge like a curse as she awakes.
Yeah, a bit of a chicken and the egg problem there.
I noticed that all the Icors were female, as if a male couldn't endure the metamorphosis. Harriet was also a bitter and resentful woman, as was her daughter.
If the Morrigan prefers despoiled women to become the vessels of her wrath, we should be thankful that but one disaster hath been cast upon this wobbling world.
This is not over. I am here to find the true origin of the blood of hate.
'Tis unwise to interfere with a tale rooted so deeply in the suffering of others.
What will happen to Ascalon? Will you let them run the country from the shadows?
I don't interfere with petty political intrigues. Ascalon was built upon the lie of a lineage. Such a deceit cannot last forever.
Well, it's lasted, what, 400 years
But
at this
Lord
point?
Redgrave definitely possessed Marshall's blood. Untainted blood from the greatest vampire knight.
Really? I wonder how he managed to acquire it. Perhaps I should retrieve this artifact before going back to sleep.
What will become of the vampire hunters?
They will never stop searching for William Marshall, for he escaped their two great hunts. Remember that you too are now on their dark list.
What will become of the Brotherhood?
I foresee trouble for them now that your progeny considers becoming the new primate.
But I'm certain the current primate has no wish to resign.
Exactly. And I am not fully convinced your progeny truly understands what dreadful power he is about to defy.
Usher Talltree is that much
No.
of a badass, or what?
I must know why Elizabeth fled here when I discovered she was the original healthy carrier.
No, she is not what you say she is.
Thank you!
That is a secret you will discover soon enough.
And you? Why are you here? Which new thread of which old twisted plan are you seeking to pull now? Tell me the truth.
I am just here to salute my sons, and to bid them fare thee well.
Your sons? Plural? My God, will you ever stop speaking in riddles?
Perhaps I am too old for your spoken language. Perhaps you now have so many subtle words you no longer hear the simplest ones.
Who are your sons? Why do you bid them farewell now?
You are my son, as is William Marshall.
William Marshall is here?
This is madness. How many have you created? Who else? Shakespeare? Isaac Newton? Alfred the Great? Francis Drake? Thomas More? Guy Fawkes?
My progeny is scarce, for I rarely feel the urge to protect this land anymore. But yes, one of those you named is your immortal brother.
Okay.
Maybe you shall meet one night.
So that is all we are to you? Puppets you create to defeat some threat born from a dreaming devil?
No. You are my sons. I am proud of you. I mourn when you fail.
How many have failed?
When he fought me, Geoffrey McCullum used a serum made of King Arthur's blood. Since then, I have discovered that it was vampire blood. Whose blood was it?
You just said it.
Both.
It was the blood of a king. The blood of the champion I chose to save this land in its time of greatest peril.
Boy, McCullum
King
would...
Arthur was also your progeny. Why am I not surprised?
Yes, he was. But he failed in the end. And for centuries the land suffered his defeat.
Huh.
Tell me about William Marshall. Why is his blood so strong?
He is not stronger than you, only older. You are strong, Jonathan Reed. A champion of your time, chosen to defeat a threat spawned of this generation.
His blood was not tainted. The blood Lord Redgrave possessed. That which I used in the serum. But what if it had been?
Then you would have failed, I suppose. For the blood of hate would have corrupted you too.
So, wait, what? Why, if William Marshall is your progeny as well, would my own blood not be sufficient at this point? Or is it just because he's been around since the last disaster and succeeded, so... Oh! Huh. Maybe he used the exact same setup. Yeah, I think maybe he used the same setup, using it in older vampire's blood in his time. And that antidote is now circulating through his veins, or was circulating through his veins after the disaster, which means at this point, Jonathan Reed's blood would be able to avert the next disaster.
Is he here?
I think.
Is William Marshall here? Is that why you're here now, too?
Have I not already answered that question?
I really hope... It would be a weird twist if Lady Ashbury is William Marshall.
Speak clearly, then. And answer my last question.
What is it?
Did I defeat the epidemic?
Now you've found the castle, Jonathan Reed. Only you can answer that. Farewell, my child. I shall dream about you soon.
So that wasn't a manifestation the entire time. It was literally...
It's locked, all right. The castle walls look decrepit. Maybe I can find a way to sneak in.
Not over here, then. But yeah, that wasn't an apparition the entire time. It was just a literal... Like, that was its body. Well, that was... a little too easy, really. Oh, on the plus side, I won't have to fight any more skulls. And yeah, I think it was just the confluence of having vampire blood with that type of personality. Mary Englewood, born Whitaker. Robin Englewood. So, I'm assuming her last name was Englewood. Once upon a time. Yeah, worth a glance. I'm kind of exploring around, seeing what sites there are prior to entering the castle proper. You know, give me more hints regarding Elizabeth herself. Well, provided that's actually her first name and she hasn't changed it. I mean, obviously she did change her last name at some point.
I cannot enter. The lady of the manor isn't expecting visitors.
Trying to puzzle out where to go from here. Oh, right over here. Didn't even notice the stairway up.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but I think I smell Elizabeth's perfume. She must be here somewhere.
Dear Lady Ashbury, thank you for your recent letter and all the good news it contained. I cannot wait to finally meet you when you arrive in London. The garden is beautiful under the summer sky, although I noted your wish to avoid heat and direct sunlight because of your frail health. You're welcome any day. We'll discuss this wonderful idea of yours concerning the foundation of an orphanage for young ladies inspired by the French Maison Royale de Saint-Louis. Sadly closed when the French people chose, my god, I can't even write these words down, to cut their king's head off. Such a place destined to provide a good education to gifted but poor orphan girls will surely excite my friends here in the city. You can count on me and my influence to help make your project a huge success. So that was 1865, so it's 53 years later, I believe.
It's locked.
Okay, from this side, so presumably I do have to go
It's
through
locked, all right.
all of this, thankfully. Because I really I want to gather as much information as possible, because Elizabeth Blackwood, by Johannes Vermeer, 1666. So during the time of the last disaster. 1795. So 70 years before the last one. As the new legal owner of the Ashbury estate, I intend to quickly engage in the overdue maintenance and repairs of the walls and the crypt of the castle. Among the few architects I invited to send forth proposals, I was most impressed by your respectful approach concerning renovations on historical buildings and their preservation. I would be glad to meet you at your convenience. My only request would be to speak to you directly and not your assistants. Any evening of next month would be agreeable. You may come to the castle, or I can meet you at your office as you prefer. If you agree to come to the castle, I could show you what kind of repairs and modifications I have in mind concerning the crypt, which may need considerable work and reconstruction.
Like most castles, this one has a crypt. And it holds something special inside.
Wait. Oh!
Elizabeth, my love, you allow my portrait to watch over you while you sleep. I'm flattered.
Huh. Okay,
this
obviously.
castle is falling apart.
Lady Ashbury in Paris, 1888. Not the best likeness in that photo, though. Oh, wow, that's a heck of a drop. Oh, actually it's just one floor, somehow.
That sweet fragrance. Elizabeth's perfume. She was here, and recently.
I am curious, I mean, I know direct sunlight hurts like hell, but what about indirect sunlight? And yeah, I'll be punching that later. I've got a feeling that that's how you access the next area. Elizabeth and Jacob Blackwood in Versailles, 1788. Lady Ashbury by Van Gogh, 1885. Oh. Oh, probably gonna be locked? Or just inaccessible. Fair enough.
This painting looks suspicious.
William Marshall against the Red Queen. Oop. Yeah, that's definitely William Marshall against the Red Queen. That painting has been up in several spots. Inverness, 11th February 1807. Dear Miss Ashbury, when last we communicated, you asked for the conveyance of a large coffin from Temple Church, London, to the crypt of Ashbury Castle in Scotland. I'm happy to report your request has finally been validated. My drivers have been informed that, for security reasons, guard must always protect the coffin. You have hired these individuals who will be waiting for us in London. They also have been informed that under... Okay, not sure why that's popping up. They also have been informed that under no circumstances should the carriage try to pass a river by boat, but always used by road and bridges. For the precious wood and the relics inside the coffin cannot be exposed to humidity and moisture. You'll find a detailed quote for the entire operation attached to this letter. We are ready to go to London as soon as payment is received in full. Oh, rats. Oh!
A sword and a moon are the symbols I should look for.
Huh. Okay. This is an intriguing little puzzle at the tail end of the game. I know that there were crests on the... maybe not. Or at least not in such a manner as I thought it'd be.
What are these symbols? I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
Sword and moon. Oh, okay. Let's see, that's a flower. Moon.
One last switch,
And sword is the other. Just need to find it. It should be in this area at least. Wait, I saw a glint over there. Oh, that was the Van Gogh painting. Oh, here. Dunborough Sanatorium, 1909. Dear Lady Ashbury, I thank you for your previous letters and ardent discussions about vampire folklore. It's now obvious we share an opinion concerning scientific and modern approach toward the need for blood and the cure of addiction. I must confess I admired your charitable attitude when I met you at the Dunborough Sanatorium, and I'm still impressed by your kindness when talking with humble and poor patients. I was delighted to read about the position of administrator at the Pembroke Hospital you financed since its founding. After a few days of deliberation, I am happy to accept your offer. It will be, for me, an occasion to get back to the quiet, busy streets of London after the years of public service in the beautiful but far quieter Scotland. I will be glad to meet you there and discuss with you further about immortality, its advantages, disadvantages, and how to enhance your condition. I look forward to our next meeting. Maybe that... I mean, I can't imagine she caused the first outbreak. Oh yeah, her and Jacob. Whoever Jacob might... Oh!
Voila.
And the crypt. Looks like a diary, maybe? An angel came to me. Bless... 12:17! Michael appeared to me last night in all his glories, shaped in glorious blood to grant me eternal life at the dusk of my life. The apparition was so sublime and terrible that I could not help but lower my head and close my eyes. Struck by the divine gift, I fell to the ground, only to awake the next night. You will serve me as you served your kings, said the angel before striking me with all his power. You will protect this land through eons to come. For all who knew me, I should now hide and retreat, for they consider me dead. Soon I will leave the company of men to serve my new purpose, blessed be God. 133 years later. Michael appeared to me last night in my retreat under Temple Church and asked me to prepare for battle. The land must be saved. Death is everywhere. The Black Death. An epidemic sent by the devil himself to punish mortals all over the world. My arm is strong. In the name of God I shall smite the enemies of mankind. England shall prevail. Yeah, Ascalon Club. 219 years later. It is almost 20 years since my fight started against the devil, and the end is uncertain. From time to time, the plague, the Black Death, reappears in a village, in a town, and each time the vicious minions of hell approach to get their share of the mortal suffering. Vampires. Dreadful creatures. I won't let this land collapse. Until my last breath, I'll serve and protect England. 9 years later. Tonight, in the small village of Hodston, I met the most delicate soul I've seen for a long time. She was singing for the dead, singing for those she knew and loved, those killed by a new plague outbreak, without fearing for her own life. Her voice moved me, so I chose to let her live. I offered her eternal life as a reward for her virtue and most pious attitude. Her name is Elizabeth Englewood. I'm not alone anymore. Together we shall praise God in all his glory for the eons to come. 40 years later. My heart is breaking. My soul is bleeding. Tonight, my dear Elizabeth left me. I have taught her all I knew, all she needed to know. Now she must walk her own path through the ages. This is her wish, and I will respect it. Elizabeth Englewood, my sweet daughter, is gone, for she now wants to be known as Elizabeth Blackwood. I made her a promise. If she ever comes back to Hodston, she will find me there, managing the Bull Inn and her parents' own before dying. William Marshall shall disappear for a few times too, now that the Black Death is no more. Until we meet again, I shall be known as William Thorne, waiting for my angel to come back. So William Marshall was her progenitor. Kind of explains why she was less than pleased with Lord Redgrave, and why she was positively giddy at finding actual evidence that, nope, he ain't from William Marshall. The devil is at work again. The Great Plague is back, reaping thousands of lives in London. I must sell the Bull Inn and go there. Once more, William Marshall shall protect the land. What have I done? I let the devil infect me. God forgive me, the terrifying creature I had to defeat was a demon straight from hell, an abomination of the flesh, a walking apocalypse. I had to trap the dreadful creature in St. Paul's Church and set the building on fire. Without the advice of Michael, I don't know if I could have defeated my enemy. The flames cleansed the city of the demon's presence, but half of London burnt down. Ever since, I have dreamt of a red flood, of slaughter and rage. It's like the disaster had tainted my blood, my very soul. For the first time in centuries, I am afraid. I shall crawl back to my retreat and pray to God for mercy for my infected soul. And oddly enough, 1666, if I recall right, was the Great London Fire, and the Black Plague was making a resurgence, but when the fire happened, it killed off, like, the majority of the rat population, which carried the virus. So, as many lives as were lost immediately in the Great London Fire, long term, it helped the city and its occupants by ending the Black Plague before it could get a hold. A year later, Elizabeth came to me. She said she felt my pain and rushed to see me. My poor daughter. Blinded by rage, intoxicated by the blood of hate, I bit her. She fled, shocked by my betrayal. I laughed and cried as she cursed me. God, have I betrayed you? Have you abandoned me? My prayers have been heard. I have found the strength to resist the need for blood, the never-ending hunger. My poor Elizabeth, will you ever forgive me? I've heard you now kill and take pleasure in bloodbath with this new progeny of yours. You're a victim in all this. What have I done? I swear I will find a way to make amends for what I have done to you. I swear I shall only rest once I know how to appease the blood of hate. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stool finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed to meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. Oh, okay, this part I have read. They have acknowledged my victory against this evil, the Deus Astro, the Eater of Stars, who only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Wrote back to me with just a name, Tear of Angels. Soon I may repair the wrong. Yep, that part I did read. The excerpt from 1785. A year later, I finally managed to gather all the ingredients needed to concoct the Tear of Angels. Blood of the purest heart for the fortitude, blood of a king for courage, garlic essence for the painful cleansing. After months of impatience, almost made mad by the hunger, I waited again and again, until finally Elizabeth cautiously came to me. As promised, I had chained myself to be sure I would not attack her again. I did not recognize my sweet daughter at first, for she only was a Lady Blackwood now, the dreadful mistress of the dark who took delight in slaughter and carnage in France. She smirked as I apologized and cried for what I had inflicted to her. She shouted at me when I tried to explain to her that my bite had infected her, had given her the blood of hate, now burning in her veins, in her soul. I told her I had found a cure, and that I had managed to create one dose of antidote. I gave it to her to give her back her previous peaceful life. In exchange, I only asked her to take care of me, for I intended to be locked down in my tomb, chained if necessary, to impeach me from feeding on any mortal or immortal. Wait. Out of curiosity, how the hell did he write the diary entry when chained down in the basement? Unless it was maybe after she left. Well, wait, because how the... Okay, that presents a couple plot holes. So, 8 years later, she came back to me finally, cured, healthy, joyful, my Elizabeth. She told me she had drunk the antidote about a year ago in France after witnessing and taking part in the massacre of an entire orphanage caused by the blood of hate. That's when the Lady Blackwood died, she said. She promised she would take care of me now. That's all I ask as I repent for all the murdered souls caused by my negligence of more than 100 years. My dearest daughter came back last week to tell me the good news. She has recently bought a castle in Scotland. She will soon finance the renovation of the castle crypt to provide me a new retreat. Far from temptation, far from the noisy, crowded cities. I can't wait to embrace the solitude, find the peace I need to refrain from killing. God, please give me the strength to resist the urges during the journey from London to my new domain. Before I leave, I should give a copy of these memoirs to the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, without the most shameful and sensible information, of course. Soon I shall leave London to pursue my penance. I'm pretty sure they meant to take that out of the inventory after the fight.
Drop your sword, Father. You have nothing to be afraid of.
Shall we abandon this then? Shall we lower our heads?
No. Never. You taught me that.
Blood is approaching. Old but young. How strange. Shall I drink it? Smite it?
No, Father.
Oh.
He is a friend.
He is.
Please, rest.
That is pallor right
I'll
there.
take care of it.
Caution, Elizabeth. Deceit runs through these veins.
I know, Father.
Mine or his?
What took you so long, Jonathan?
Is this really him?
Yes. This is William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke, servant of 5 mortal kings, former regent and savior of England. The greatest knight who ever lived, according to some.
And you called him father?
For he gave me eternal life, and much more.
I have so many questions, Elizabeth.
Hopefully the information...
You always had questions, Dr. Reed.
Hopefully the
Now that
information
I stand
know.
before you both, in this vault, I know not where to begin.
We still have a few minutes left.
Will you go back to London?
No, Jonathan. I do not intend to.
And what of your daughter?
Charlotte is a strong, independent woman who's about to come into money. I took care of everything. Now it's time for her to shape her future.
Like your father did for you.
Where are we? What is this place?
This is the Ashbury estate. I inherited the title when I purchased the castle.
Is this your retreat? Something of a secret place?
It's more of a sanctuary, really. This is where I take care of my father. Ever since he became unwell.
Are you not afraid someone might discover you here? It's not that hard to find.
Do not assume that I would hesitate to silence anyone who tried to reveal my secret. Fortunately, it has rarely come to that.
Why did you flee here?
When you told me I was the healthy carrier, I
Because
had
she'd been
nowhere
cured.
else to go.
You mean you had to return to the real source of this scourge?
Yes, to end it once
Wait.
and for all.
What?
I have destroyed the disaster, this creature that Harriet Jones had become. The epidemic is no more, and London will recover. In time.
Yes, you did well, Jonathan. You truly saved the city.
Though I
Yes,
fucked up
we
a couple
did.
times.
Despite all obstacles. I'm truly convinced we did it together, Elizabeth.
I cannot bear knowing I was the cause of all this. Through the use of my own blood.
No. This catastrophe was the result of unethical experimentation. And the will of a creature so inexplicably evil, she exceeds all the terrible wonders I have seen since my death.
But it was my blood all along.
It's not.
The corrupted blood of hate. The poisoned blood of my father.
Jonathan was wrong.
That's all I am.
I wish they would stop on this path. I know that it's wrong. It wasn't her blood necessarily. The entity told me so himself. It's not that hard to piece together.
Why are you hiding William Marshall here?
How could I not take care of him? He sacrificed himself by giving me the only dose of antidote he had.
What do you do for him?
I visit him as often as possible. I paint the landscapes he will never see again. I feed him with my blood.
You feed him? You barely sustain yourself on the weak blood of the dying, yet you give him your blood?
After he saved me from the blood rage, I swore I would never kill to feed. He said the same.
He gave you the antidote?
Yes. And in doing so, he knew he'd have to be confined here. And yet he volunteered. That's how great a man William Marshall was. And still is.
Is he dangerous?
What do you think? He is a thirsty Ekon, who has not fed in centuries. An elder vampire, driven by an urge to kill and spread the blood of hate.
Can he communicate?
Yes. Sometimes he even seems like the noble knight who saved and raised me. But you know, the malice never fully leaves his eyes.
No redemption, then?
And yet he thinks he has been offered immortality by the angels to protect the feeble and to smite the unholy.
Not necessarily wrong, just different brand of angel.
We could cure him.
It's too late. The blood of hate has run for too long. The antidote would not work on him. I tried. Believe me, I tried.
Well,
William
at least they closed that plot hole.
Infected you. He is the true, original carrier.
Yes. But he saved me by sacrificing himself.
Saved you? How?
The tears of angels. The cleansing of impure blood by an older, more powerful blood. It worked on me, did it not?
Yes. Blood is the definitive key to our species. Scowls, cleansing, lineage. Do you really think it worked?
It has, Jonathan. I was nothing but a beast who took pleasure in slaughter. I roamed across Europe, reaping my bloody crop. It was the blood of hate. But my father's antidote cured me.
Who are you, really?
How could I answer that? I went through many lives and identities to reach this day. To you, I am Elizabeth Ashbury, and that's all I wish to be.
I understand. And I respect your desire for privacy.
Thank you, Jonathan.
How did you meet William Marshall?
He was an Ekon for centuries when he found me. He saved me from certain death by making me his progeny.
Did you ever blame him?
Not even when he was infected and bit me. He is my father. He raised me. He taught me how to behave.
Why did he choose you?
You should ask him that.
I read his... I wish it would take into account the fact that you did read the diary.
What about us?
What do you mean?
You know my feelings towards you, Elizabeth. But you left without a word. So I'm worried about your feelings towards me.
I love you, Jonathan. I've loved you since the moment I saw you rescue poor Mr. Hampton in that filthy slaughterhouse. Forgetting the danger as you turned your back, like the newborn fool you were.
You should have told me.
No, Jonathan. The William Marshall myth lies at the heart of so many hostile plans. I could not risk jeopardizing his safety.
So why
Fair
did
enough.
you come here? You knew I would follow you. I can't let you go.
Because I know now the blood of hate is still in my veins. No one but I can put an end to this tragedy.
It's
can help.
not.
You can trust me, Elizabeth.
I know, Jonathan. You have been the most loyal ally these last few weeks. But this is my duty.
Would your protege agree to speak with me? I have so many questions for him.
Go on, Jonathan. But
Pretty sure the
be
word they were
careful.
looking for there was progenitor.
Yes?
Sir William. My God. You really are William Marshall. You served Richard the Lionheart and his brother, King John. It is such a privilege to meet you.
I did in my day. Come closer if you want to speak. For my hearing
Yeah.
isn't what it used to be.
Not falling
I
for
think
that.
your hearing is fine, sir.
What is it you want then?
I found your research on the antidote. The tears of the angels. What ingredients did you use?
Once I understood what the ingredients were, I used the tears of King Richard and the pure blood of the valiant Boadicea.
King Richard and Boadicea? How did you find such relics?
It took me many years to locate their hiding place. Then I had to learn the formula. If I recall, it belonged to an ancient brotherhood.
So
The
Boadicea
order
meaning
was
Boudica
all
or
my
someone
name.
else?
And did it work?
Yes. The tears cleansed my poor Elizabeth's blackened heart. It was such a blessing to see her smile again.
I found and defeated the disaster that was threatening to smite London. You should know that the city is safe for now, Sir William.
Then may I call you brother? Did you resist its poison? Even a scratch from a beast so evil could endanger you and all those you care for.
How did you defeat it?
We fought for hours. In the end, I had to lock her in St. Paul's Cathedral and burn the building down. I wanted to be sure she was destroyed.
You also defeated one in 1666.
Yeah, that should have
Who
been
was
first.
She was a malicious witch who spread plague throughout the city with her army of rats. She had been hiding in a bakery in Pudding Lane for months when I finally found her.
The blood of hate. How does it affect you? Do you feel it now?
The blood of hate? Yes. Nothing more than a sneeze, really. A sneeze held for so long, you could blow a fortress down if you released it.
You know, as weird as that sentence was, that actually kind of puts in perspective just how bad it is. Because everyone's had that stalled sneeze. And that is one of the worst little things you can have happen to you on a daily basis. So having it happen that long, good lord.
Can we speak about the Morrigan?
The Red Queen? What of her?
You met her, did you not?
Just once. But she never ceased to sing to me. I love her song. It is a song of blood and war. I only wish she would sometimes let me rest.
Do you know who she is?
I don't want to discuss this in front of my sweet Elizabeth.
Why?
For a time, she too could hear the Red Song. The steps she danced to its melody brought pain upon the world.
I would like to ask you about vampires.
Vampires? What about them?
Considering your experience, please tell me what you know.
They are terrible creatures. I have seen and fought many in my time. Foul temptresses with sharp claws and shrieking beaks.
I have never seen such a creature. What are you talking about?
Of course you've never seen a creature like them. Vampires are deadly, swift and implacable.
Where did you encounter such creatures?
The last time I saw one was in a Celtic temple near Salisbury. A terrible and god-forsaken place full of ghosts and pestilence.
Do you remember Myrddin, your maker?
Only God is my maker.
Michael.
For he created everything on this earth. He blessed me with eternal life through his archangel, Michael.
But Myrddin, Michael, is a vampire. He made you a blood-sucking creature of the night.
Blood, yes. I used to drink it from the throats of the unworthy. Then I was punished for my deceit. During my penance, I rely entirely upon my sweet Elizabeth.
Tell me about Elizabeth. How was she infected?
I do not wish to discuss it.
Please, Sir William. I need to know what the blood of hate is. How is it transmitted?
After defeating the disaster in St. Paul's Cathedral, I returned to my retreat, infected. This is where my sweet Elizabeth found me, for she heard my pain from across the sea.
Where is this retreat you mentioned?
In London, under Temple Church, beneath my empty tomb. I always loved to sleep there while listening to the bell above.
What happened then?
The blood of hate had twisted me into a rage-filled man. I attacked my progeny and infected her too. Forgive me, Elizabeth. I failed you.
You bit her again? Is that how she was infected with the disaster's blood? I think I understand now.
Elizabeth fled, and I fell to my knees, begging for forgiveness. I swore I would find a way to make things right.
How did you meet Elizabeth?
Times were tough. I had awakened to protect the land from a new plague. I heard her sing for her dead family. Singing for her death to come. I chose to save her.
When was that?
It was so long ago. A few years after Elizabeth of England and Catherine of France established their alliance against Spain.
What did you do?
I raised her as my progeny. After she left to see the world, I rebuilt her deceased parents' inn. Owned it as William Thorne for a time. Those were good years.
Good job on the music, by the way. Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I hadn't read all of it, but eh.
Did you really sacrifice yourself to save her?
That was the only righteous path. The blood of hate made me betray her. I am at peace here. I can think about what I've done and how I failed.
You agreed to be confined here then?
Yes. Once I was sure she was cured, I asked to be locked down here. I deserve it. The world needs it.
Do you not want to be cured?
No. This hunger is mine. I would feel empty without it. It has been part of me for so long. All I want is quiet. Silence.
We could set you free. Let you out. Isn't
Well,
that
duh, no.
I pray for the day I'll see the sky again. I have all but forgotten its colors. I could walk and do so many things beneath the stars. But I doubt it will be wise to release me.
Then will you stay here and repent?
Elizabeth told me it will not be long now. I cannot wait to feel the sweet caress of her hand on my cheek after so long as she releases me.
So, she plans to kill him.
Has the time come?
Yes, Father.
Why not unleash me then? To see the sky a final time.
You all... and all its stars.
I'm not defeated, for I welcome the sword you bear. For it is mine.
You were never defeated, my lord.
Little bit of a glitch in the audio there, unfortunately, especially in such a fantastic moment.
Farewell, Father. And to you also, Jonathan.
Wait, what? No! Stop!
What do you mean?
I can't stand what I've become.
You...
This healthy carrier, as you put it. The flames will purify the poison that runs in my veins.
No.
It's not you!
I won't allow this to happen.
God damn it!
I am death, Jonathan. Wherever I go, I can't stand it.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, champion of Myrddin, chosen to save England from the vampire epidemic. I could cure you.
What do you mean?
We are creatures of blood, Elizabeth. Everything about us is in our blood. With time, I could perfect the antidote William Marshall gave you. Trust me, for time is on our side.
Well, they finally kissed.
That is a risk I cannot take, Jonathan. I won't bring another such disaster into this world.
Elizabeth, no. Trust me. I can save you.
How could I trust you, Jonathan? How could I take such a chance?
I'll stay here with you then. As long as we must, until I find a cure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Jonathan. Despite his madness, William was strong enough to starve for centuries. I doubt we can do the same.
We will lock ourselves down then. I'll get all the material I need and I'll perform my research here with you until you're cured.
Are you mad? Who would take care of us? Who would free us if it takes decades or even more?
Oh, I've got
Bridget
Swansea.
will take care of us.
Good call. Good call.
You're serious, aren't you? You really are ready to do this?
I love you, Elizabeth. I can do this. Please, stay with me.
I believe you. This is crazy, but I believe you, Jonathan.
Glad I only killed the one asshole then. Because I have a feeling that killing more than him would have been really bad. Yeah, not to be a mood killer, but you do have a corpse right next to you.
One prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Child born from darkness, whose path he must find. Now the song is sung, and your path chosen. England is safe, for you have prevailed.
Bridget?
I bid you farewell, my champion bittersweet. You found yourself a newer quest, and so I leave you to it. My queen sleeps once again, and I'll soon join her slumber, until alas she rises, woken by the hunger never fed.
A taste for blood. Complete the game. Well, definitely a very good game. Definitely has its rough spots. I'd say, you know, 7 or 8 out of 10, pretty easily. Admittedly, it does frustrate me because, I mean, especially that ending, simply because, well, rather the aspect of that ending that frustrates me is the fact that, according to Mirrodin, she was not a healthy carrier. So my thought there is that it wasn't so much her blood that caused it. It was her blood. It was her blood going into such a hateful, spiteful woman. And the woman's personality is what allowed the Red Queen entrance. That's what I figure. And I could be wrong on that, but that's the interpretation I got out of the entire conversation. And it frustrates the hell out of me that Dr. Jonathan Reed, who is supposed to be a brilliant doctor, completely missed it. And missed the implications of what the Mirrodin was saying. And honestly, it makes me think of one of the Mirrodin's statements that, you know, I'm as clear as a crystal lake, but you aren't understanding me. As for what I'll be playing next, granted I'll probably be playing Quake Champions in my off time as well as Vermintide. But given a car repair bill I just had to pay recently and a brand new chair, which by the way it is fantastic sitting at 6'2", to actually have a chair that fits me. Because every other chair comes up to my shoulder blades where most people would have, or comes up to like underneath my shoulder blades where most people would have their, well, no, shoulder blades where most people would have their head. So having another, I think a full foot, helps immensely in regards to just positioning. But anyway, in terms of the next game, I'm thinking I'll revisit some of the previous Focus entries because they've got Call of Cthulhu coming out later this year, and that looks like another very nice narrative gothic game. It's kind of similar to this in terms of overall tone. But until then, I'm thinking maybe of Orcs and Men I'll revisit, because I've had that in my library for a while. I played through quite a bit of it, but just kind of lost interest, I guess, halfway through. And I can't recall why. I remember the combat there being even clunkier than this. That much I do recall, clearly. But similar to this, the story might be able to pull it through. I'll have to replay it and see. And I'm hoping that by streaming the video like this, I'll be able to kind of force myself into completing it just for completeness sake. So, thank you all for joining me on this playthrough, and I will see you for another one. Feel free to check out other games I've played on the channel, and as always, like, comment, subscribe. You know, commenting, that helps me figure out, okay, what games would people maybe like me to see. Or like to see me play. And want me to play through. So, again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you for the next time, which I'll probably take like a week off from streaming, maybe. But anyway, thank you for joining me.